Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we're looking at another Pokemon tool, which gives another bunch of Pokemon a Z move. We looked at Normalium Z just a couple of days ago. I'll pop a link to that video in the description. And Normalium Z gave a GX attack to any Pokemon that had the attack Tackle. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're back to our old tricks, and now we're giving a GX attack to certain other Pokemon using Flyinium Z. Let's have a look, shall we? I should mention our translation here does come from the lovely Joe over at Cerebi.net, a wonderful Pokemon website that if you're not checking on a daily or at least very regular basis, you gosh darned well should be. So, we know this is a Pokemon tool, we know it gives a GX attack, but what does it do and to whom? Well, it can be attached to anyone, but it only works if you attach it to a Pokemon that knows the move Air Slash. And the GX attack does 180 damage for 4 colourless energy, and during your opponent's next turn, prevent all effective attacks, including damage, done to this Pokemon by attacks. It gives you complete and utter immunity from attacks next turn. It is in fact the exact same GX attack as the Mewtwo GX from the Detective Pikachu subset. Very similar to Dawnwing's Necrozma. The exception is that Dawnwing's Necrozma, you had to be behind on prizes in order to be able to use it, but all 3 do 180 damage and all 3 give immunity the following turn. Here's the thing though. Dawnwing's Necrozma was for free psychic energy. Mewtwo GX was for a psychic, colourless, whereas Flyinium Z is for a colourless. But like we said for Normalium Z, this will work in any deck whatsoever that accelerates energy. So fire decks are going to be getting Welder, lets you attach 2 fire energy from your hand to one of your Pokemon, and then draw 3 cards. Well, great news, ladies and gentlemen. Welder plus double colourless energy, and you're rolling with this. You could put this into a Malamar deck to accelerate the energy. Although, there is a fairly strong argument that you don't really need it in a Malamar deck, given that Malamar decks can just use Dawnwing's Necrozma or Mewtwo. But having said that, this is something that I really need to push here. This gives a GX attack to a non-GX Pokemon. Now, we'll have a look in a moment at the Pokemon that actually have Air Slash and can use it. Spoiler alert, none have actually been released yet. But they're all non-GXs. So yes, you can use Mewtwo, and yes, you can use Dawnwing's Necrozma, but they are GX Pokemon that give up 2 prizes apiece. You can put this onto a Pokemon that is a non-GX, that only gives up 1 single prize, and then, ladies and gentlemen, then we are absolutely rolling, and I love it. And that's essentially what you do here. You use this as an extra GX attack. Now, if you've got a GX attack you are desperate to use, you're not going to want to use this. And if you can't accelerate energy, this isn't going to be particularly great. You know, I'm never going to be putting this in a Granbull deck, for instance, that just uses a single energy. In a Pikachu and Zekrom deck, you absolutely could, but then Pikachu and Zekrom has got an amazing GX attack. Now, admittedly, it's for 6 energy, but you can accelerate energy with the first attack, so that's alright. It does 200 to the active and 170 to one of your opponent's bench. Well, why would you not want that? So, we're in this weird situation where there are a whole bunch of decks that won't use this. And look, we'll get there in a second, but we've got a basic Pokemon that can use this. It's HootHoot. So it's not a huge problem. We can just put 1 HootHoot into your deck, and then 1 Flyinium Z, and then grab them and just use this GX attack. It's an extremely techable card. But the thing to remember is that not every deck can use it because you need energy acceleration and you need a deck that doesn't have a GX attack they would rather be using. The other thing I should mention here is that you can't use Choice Band to do extra damage, but having said that, Choice Band is rotating as this comes out, so don't worry your pretty little heads about it. Now, the good news is, also thanks to the lovely Joe, we have a list of cards that can actually use this GX attack because they've got the move Air Slash. Though I must make extremely clear here, we're expecting this to be legal for at least 2 years. So, you need to remember that there will be other Pokemon. And you know, ladies and gentlemen, at this stage, you know that the designers of this card game are going to keep this in mind. And they're going to give us more Pokemon in the future with Air Slash, knowing that they can use Flyinium Z with the express purpose of using it with Flyinium Z. I feel extremely confident that that is going to be something that happens. So as it stands at the moment, in the standard format, cards that have been released outside of Japan, none. There is not a single Pokemon in the current standard format that has Air Slash. Cards that have been released in Japan, we've got the Tranquil, which came out in GG The End. That's it. Now, Tranquil is a stage 1 colourless Pokemon. It's not particularly good. 1 colourless energy, 20 damage. No. And 3 colourless energy, 40 damage. And discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. No. We ain't playing Tranquil for Tranquil, but playing it for this could work. Good news, in Sky Legend we are getting 2 more Pokemon that know the move Air Slash. But like I said a moment ago, when card designers make cards like this, they know they've actually got to give us a way to use it, so this is a very deliberate thing, and you can expect to see it happen again. We've got the new HootHoot and the new Silvally. And obviously here, we've got to start off with the new HootHoot because, well, come on. It's a basic. Now, Air Slash here, double colourless energy, 30 damage, discard an energy attached to this Pokemon. Although I should point out here, we are expecting double colourless energy to rotate as well. It could end up in Sun and Moon 11 and be saved, but we don't know. It would be in Unified Minds if that was the case. But the point is here, it's a basic Pokemon we can use, and that's what we're looking for. It's got 60 HP, so we can grab it with Professor Round's lecture, and then we can just use this to use a GX attack. And make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, that is the point here. That is what we're using it for. It is here, so it's a basic Pokemon that can use a GX attack. We're not expecting to attack with it unless we can use a GX attack. Now, at this stage, it is worth mentioning that all of these Pokemon are colourless, not unlike we saw with Normalium Z and Tackle, so you're never hitting for weakness here. You are hitting 180, there's no choice band, even if it gets reprinted, because you're using a tool. There's no weakness here, you are hitting 180. Now, I do just want to point out quickly, it's awesome. HootHoot has Zapdos in the artwork here. And we also saw on the side of the box in a previous video, I'll pop a link in the description, that the new Dwebble has a Moltres hanging around in the artwork. And I just had a bit of a gander, and the new Ekans has Articuno in the artwork, which is kind of cool. The reason, incidentally, is because we are getting the Articuno, Zapdos, and Moltres Tag Team GX in this set, so it's kind of nice to have that hidden stuff in there. Now, the other option we've got here in terms of a Pokemon that can use this GX attack is Silvally. Now, he's got the best Air Slash, 3 colourless energy, 120. Discard an energy, and there is a decent attack for 2 colourless energy, 30 damage, plus 50 more for each prize card your opponent took during their last turn. I'm not a huge fan of this card, I have analysed it, I'll pop a link in the description, but if you want a Pokemon that's got decent attacks, this is the best option, but I honestly believe that HootHoot is the best one here, purely on the basis it's a basic. Now, as for the 180 HP, you will be getting Dedenne GX, which is lovely. You will be getting Blacephalon GX, which is lovely. You're not getting everyone, incidentally. There's a whole bunch of GXs you're not getting. Pretty much any non-GX will go down to this. GXs, you'll get a few on the lower end. You won't get all that many. But the fact of the matter is, in any deck with energy acceleration, you can play a single HootHoot and a single Flyinium Z, and remember, you get immunity for a turn when you play this, which means that unless your opponent is able to gust, and with stuff like Guzma rotating out, gusting is becoming way more difficult next format, your opponent just has to not attack for a turn. You buy yourself a turn. We haven't focused too much on that in this video because we've seen it in a bunch of Pokemon in the past, but it is worth pointing out. You'll get pretty much any non-GX, you'll get a bunch of, but not all of, the GXs, and you buy yourself a turn of immunity. Make no mistake about it, ladies and gentlemen, this is a great card. No, you're not going to use it if you've got a GX attack you're desperate to use, and no, you're not going to use it in a deck without energy acceleration because it still takes 4 energy. But I tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, this is a good card, and I'm going to be giving it 4 wussies. I think it's good. But I would very much like to know what you think. And you can do that in the comment section. Go nuts! But please do remember to be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at @TheWassie, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. And please do make sure you're checking out youtube.com/WassiePlays, where we talk about games that don't have Pokemon in. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time. Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.